Thank you, Rick. I'll be talking about date management today, adjusting due dates, availability of assessments, assignments, and other items in Blackboard Learn. So date management is a course tool that you can use in any course in our Blackboard Learn. And this is a basic view of it. I'll be going into more detail here. But you can use it to shift dates. You can use it to reassign due dates and availability. That's really what it focuses on, is the due dates, start and end dates of availability if you have them set. So why would you want to use date management? You can view all the date restrictions in your course in one centralized place and easily adjust those dates. But I think the biggest draw for it is easily transitioning from one term to the next once you copy course content over. That is a big feature of this. So how to use date management. From your course control panel under course tools, you have date management here, and it brings up this screen. You can do a mass adjust by selecting use course start date. You can enter the current course start date, what it previously was set at, and then the new course start date. It'll do the math and figure out what the day's difference is there, and adjust everything in your course by that if it has a due date or availability or availability start and end date set. But you can also adjust by number of days manually here. So you see here that you can do it by negative days. So if it's something you are moving up a course after you've already set these things, you can do that. The last thing I'm going to focus on, of course, is the list all dates for review, which is this interface here that I just showed you. You see here that I have an assignment, a content folder, a test, and 2 discussion boards listed. You know, the content folder, of course, you can't have a due date because it's not an assignment or an assessment, but you can have availability. So you see here I have the availability of this ending on the 30th of April here. But from there, we have a couple options. For each individual one, you can click on this edit button next to it, an item, and manually adjust the due dates and, if set, the availability start dates there. And here you see you can select the check marks next to them, and then click Adjust Dates, and that'll change for all selected ones. And then you can use positive or negative numbers to shift those due dates and availability dates. I do want to note that you cannot set any of those dates here if they're not already set. So you see here that we have no availability dates here, so you can't change those. You see this one had a start date set, but didn't have an end date set. So you can only change what has already been set. So in order to change those individual things that haven't been used before, you do have to go into the content area, which you have the item posted, or into the discussion board, for instance, and set those manually through the settings there. So I'm going to do a live demonstration. Share out my Google here. Sharing out Google Chrome for you. You see that I'm in the course documents of demo course here. And I've got a date management demo folder. And I will show you here that for that content folder, I have an end date of its availability set. But in order to get to the date management tool, I have to go to Course Tools and then go to Date Management. And you see it brought me directly into the Date Management Review screen. But if I want to go back, I just click on Run Date Management again, and it gives me this selection screen again. I can use the course start date, adjust by number of days, or list all dates for review. So going into that, click Start. It runs a check of all things in the course. It doesn't do this automatically every time they change something out there, so you may want to go into this with the mindset of it needs to be refreshed. And that's why we have this button here, the refresh button. And then we do have the option to select certain types of items or leave them all unchecked, which means it brings up everything here. Or we can select just due dates or just availability dates. So if we select just availability dates, you see that it only shows the things that have availability dates set. And if we set just due dates, it only shows things that have due dates set, but it also shows their start and end dates of availability here. So going back to all, I can select everything but just by using that check mark there, and then adjust the dates. It's saying adjusting 5 selected items by however many days. See, I'm going to the negative there, or I can go into the positive. I can uncheck that. And so going into one of these that has both due date and start date, see that I can adjust that here, and it gives me a little date picker that I can use. And then let's say I want to shift that from 4/18 to 4/17. Click Done, and then apply it. And you see that it updated that there. And then if I have changed something somewhere else, I will need to click on this refresh button, as I said before. It runs it again. And it does send emails for this, but that's just to notify you that the date management process has been run. And this does interact with the course calendar. You see I can go in here and look at, make sure only this course is selected. I can change these dates here. I have that set as week. It shows those there, and I can drag and drop those wherever I want. Okay. It's just letting me know that it's changing the due date. And then when I go back to the date management screen here, I will need to refresh in order to get that changed, or at least have that reflected in that screen. And that's pretty much it as far as date management in Blackboard. Going back to the slides, do we have any questions or comments? No questions or comments? Well, thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and join us again next week as we discuss a couple more topics, and have a good week.